Hello, my name is Harold Van Hugen Muscles, but my enemies call me the Angry Austrian. Today, I'm going to bring you yet another segment on the Dragon Ball Z, highlighting the top 5 most muscular characters in the Dragon Ball Z movies. And I know what you're saying already. Well, hello, didn't you already do something kind of similar to this? No, I didn't. Shut the fuck up. If I come down you and I put a 9mm bullet in your brain. Damn it, now where was I? Oh yeah. Number 5, Lord Slug. Yeah, so it's pretty obvious why this guy is on my list. Once a great bodybuilder who wanted the universe showing off his muscles. The old past his prime Slug resembled more of a dried up raisin than a man that was a paragon of aesthetics. But one day that all changed when his dealer hooked him up with some really good shit, and he went from looking like a pair of wrinkly old balls to somebody who is made out of solid steel. And this cocktail of HGH and synthol worked so well, he went from an 8-foot manlet to a 97-foot tall paragon of fitness. But King Snail forgot a very big thing that even the most ardent bodybuilders tend to forget over time. That you also got to work out the ears. Why do you think I scream so much? It gives me the gains. So as a result of not doing his eardrum presses, a little Japanese boy was able to incapacitate the giant body of the Lord Snail. And eventually he went on to be defeated by a giant blue medicine ball that his oil-filled biceps could not hold up any longer, so he exploded and all of his oil and millions of dollars went to waste. Just like me and my maid. Number 4, Bojack. Yeah, once a mighty ass pirate sailing the 7 seas of space. The great aesthetics of Bojack were incapacitated by 4 giant blue catfish. So for thousands of years, the Bojack hung around doing the push-ups, the sit-ups, and watching Pumping Iron while plotting his revenge. When suddenly he was set free during a pose-off between the bulking face cell and the muscular badass Goku. And now free, the Bojack wanted to challenge Goku for the title of Mr. Universe. But he soon found out that due to his absence, his IBFF professional card had been revoked, so he had to go back to the minor leagues. So he soon snuck himself and his crew into a bodybuilding competition. But Bojack made a big fatal flaw. He thought a measly few thousand years of bodyweight exercises could compare to even 1 year of intense weight training. So when they came face to face, the pre-CrossFit Gohan made quick work of the Bojack and punched straight through his pussy little slow twitch muscles. The Bojack's physique was certainly admirable, as was his ability to put bitches into place. But in the end, he failed his own muscles and lost to a little kid, so he'll never rise above the 4th place on this list. Number 3, Cooler. Yeah, the physically superior brother of the physically inferior man that's Frieza. Cooler was renowned throughout the galaxy for his great aesthetics and physique, but after his baby brother was killed by the muscular champion of the universe, Goku, Cooler could not take that lying down, so he came to Goku's home turf to try and show him just what true posing and technique actually are. But of course, things didn't turn out so simple for Cooler. After an epic clash of styles and poses galore, Goku had his muscular challenger on the ropes. That is until Cooler pulled out his most muscular form of all time, his dreaded 5th transformation. For a short period of time, the Cooler had the Goku on the ropes and looked like he was going to win, but soon the Goku whipped out his own most muscular pose, the Super Saiyan Roid Rage transformation. And boy was he pissed. Goku's muscularity and technique was far too much for Cooler to stand at this point, so after a sneak attack and using his most powerful pose, Cooler was primed and ready to take the Mr. Universe title from the Goku. But Cooler soon learned that failure runs in his family, and though he wasn't a manlet, he lost just like one, as Goku sent his attack back at him, and he died just like Z's in the tanning bed of death. It's a shame he wasn't sent somewhere a little more cooler? Oh, fuck you all, I thought it was funny. Number 2, Android 13. Yeah, so despite his lack of $30 haircut, the redneck Android 13 was a muscular sight to be seen. And his power was so great, he was even able to beat down the muscular Goku in his natty form, pointing out his scrawniness from lack of steroids. But eventually, he proved no match for the roid rage of the Super Saiyans and the natty Namekian. And he went from the lean aesthetics of Frank Zane to the juicy swole power of the Hulk. Only just blue with red hair, because apparently that's how Japanese cartoons work. I mean, seriously, just look at the muscles on this guy. The biceps, the triceps, the abdominals, the pectorals, the trapezius. This guy's got muscles in places where people don't even have places, except me. I have a lot more places. It helps me to hide the steroids. The muscles and ball-punching power of Android 13 were so great that everyone was reduced to a manlet as a result and did no damage whatsoever to his perfect body. And soon he dominated the Z Fighters worse than Arnold Schwarzenegger dominated the the Mr. Olympia scene during the 70s. His power was so great you would think that he was a proud, strong Aryan. But of course Goku, the sneaky Japanese, decided to use the giant steroid ball of death, and what followed was the greatest example of roid rage I've ever seen in my life. And much like a Terminator punching through a windshield, Goku punched through Super Android 13 with the power of 30 hemorrhoidal Hulks using sandpaper as toilet paper. And with that, the second most muscular android of all time met his end. Android 13 was certainly muscular, but if he was natty, perhaps I would have given him the #1 spot for sure. But there can only be one #1, so the most muscular character on this list is... #1, Broly. No, I'm just kidding. That guy was such a pussy he couldn't even handle his own gains. Why else do you think he exploded at the end of the first movie? Oh, because Goku punched him in the little stab wound that he got from when he was injected with steroids as a baby. Wrong. He was just a big crybaby who couldn't take it. If you don't believe me, take it from Trunks.
And it couldn't be Broly. That guy's a toothpick.
So he's disqualified from this list for being a little bitch. Anyway, so the real #1 on this list is #1, Aliboo. But you might be saying, wait a second, Aliboo wasn't in the movies, was he? Wrong again, sissy boy. He made a short cameo in Fusion Reborn, so he's fair game. Anyway, Aliboo is the most muscular human being to ever live, aside from myself and Arnold Schwarzenegger. He was so badass and rippling with muscles that they based every single hero in the history of the planet on him. The Hercules, the Samson, the Gilgamesh, and the Jared from the subway. All of them were based on Aliboo. And not only was he a fantastic bodybuilder with a body like no other, with the great arms, the legs, the chest, and the back. And not only was he so tall and manly looking that he could put any ugly little manlet in his place, but just look at the power of his muscles. The collision of his biceps hitting another man's biceps, blowing up the moons. And even making the muscular Goku shit his pants in amazement at his muscularity and power. But the greatest thing about Aliboo has not even been mentioned yet, and it requires you to look very closely at him. Now look closely. Do you notice something very familiar about him? No? Well, let me show you. That's right, he looks just like Android 16. And why is that, do you say? Because he is Android 16. It is obvious by the muscularity and power that Aliboo has displayed that he actually is Android 16 and simply put on a disguise to get past King Yama and get into the heaven to train more. And of course that big red pussy fell for it, him and his wimpy little Yamalak. But in either case, because Android 16 is the most muscular man to ever live, and every moment he occupies is the most muscular moment of all time, then he clearly is #1 by default. And what's that you say? That I can't have Android 16 be #1 on 2 different lists? Shut the hell up, this is my list, and if you don't like it, then you can go cry in the corner with all the Broly fans. Well, this has been the top 5 most muscular characters in Dragon Ball Z movies. Now I'm off to go lift some weights, but before I do, don't forget to check out my channel, which is Laughingstock Media. And don't forget to leave your muscular comments in the muscular comment section below. And to like it and share it with all of your muscular friends. And of course, subscribe to Qaaman if you haven't yet, or I'll crush you. I'm the Angry Austrian, and I'll be back. And you better subscribe!
So guys, that has been my video for today. Overall, I thought Mike did a great job in this video, and he wanted to share his video on my channel. I thought it was a really awesome video to share, and I hope you guys check out Mike from Laughingstock Media. His videos are really cool, and I make a lot of videos with him, and I'll be making videos with him on a regular basis, along with the other newer members of my, I guess you could say, DBZ tubing group with Super J and Geekdom and the rest of the gang. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and most importantly, over everything else, please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. And remember, as I always say, to have a great day, guys.